And hello fellow tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we are back in my Centurion Action X on map Cliff, tier 10 battle, 1 RD per side, mainly tier 10 lineup with some tier 9s, no tier 8s in this matchup. And yeah, today I bring you guys a really nice game. Actually, that was a really nice and prosperous game in Centurion Action X, maybe slightly above average, I would say, and for whatever reason I seem to be having a really good time on this map. Every time oops, almost destroyed my tank right there, right at the beginning. Wouldn't have a game like that, would we, if we demolished our tank early in the game. Fortunately, we did not. So the key on this map is going 1 and 2 line. If you're in a medium tank or a fast mobile heavy tank, if you spawn on the south side, just because I think this area here is so important and can give you early shots of damage if you can get up here quick. As you notice here, we have 2 light tanks fighting it out, which is cool. Let them play around. While they're playing around, we're gonna try to hit some of these guys that are moving up the 6 line, because that's normally how the opposition gets up to the hill on the east side of the map. Now we notice this TD over here. Now what I should have done here is switch to my hash rounds and give this guy a little bit of hash love, but unfortunately I did not pay attention as to what tank this is, and yeah, we didn't switch to hash, but we still rolled quite nicely. We put 2 shells into him while he put only 1 into us, which was a good trade because we got about 800 damage off of him, yet he only took about 700 from us. Yeah, so we won that trade. Every time you can win the trade, guys, that will help your team win the game most often than not. Anyway, these 2 light tanks are still going at each other, so I may as well try to help our light tank, and we do. We take the opposition's 100 LT out of the game. Quite an important kill because 100 LT is so OP, to be honest. That tank is so OP. Especially on big maps, maybe not on smaller maps like this, but they can still cause chaos to your team if they're not taken out quickly. Unfortunately, our 100 LT is taking a lot of damage right now. He should have probably dropped here instead of running around still, especially since we have the opposition's TDs and heavy tanks coming on the east side, and he gets demolished right there by the shit barn. So we're gonna put a shell into the shit barn because we knew that he fired. And this position here, guys, I really love this position because it's not particularly RD safe, but it will protect you from RD somewhat because of that incline. And if RD tries to hit you here, it's a hard shot for RD, to be honest. So now we're gonna check if that mouse is still there. Yes, he is. So we don't want to take that hit right now, so we're gonna back off. We don't want to take that damage. We left with what, 970 HP. We want to maintain our hit points right here, especially since the game is so close. So what we're gonna do is lose our 6th sense, and we're gonna go around the other side of this hill. And that's why I like this position, because you can work so many different angles and you can pretty much shoot across the entire map from this position. So we're gonna try to come here and spot if there's anyone coming up the hill. We see this FV 4005, so we put a shell into him, but now again we don't want to trade with him, so we're gonna turn around and see if we can find our shots elsewhere. Last thing you want to do, guys, is try to push the battle. If you try to push the battle against high alpha TDs or heavy tanks, yeah, you're not gonna win, especially in a soft tank like Centurion AX. So you gotta pick your battles. So now we find this T125 that was pushing our DeAndre, the giant right here, in position E2, and we managed to take him out of the game. Now we're gonna do exact same thing. We're gonna stick around here for a bit until we lose our 6th sense, and now we're gonna climb up here and see if we can spot anything. So that's the goal over here. We're gonna try to see if we can put some shells into the mouse. I believe that's his back, but I don't know where that shell goes. We shot through the bush so that we don't get spotted, but he was over 500 meters away, so I knew he wouldn't get spotted. I know that shit barn is still somewhere over here. I'm being tempted to come closer to position E3 and spot the RD, but I'm still worried about that shit barn. So we're gonna poke our head over here, and yes, we spot, and he doesn't spot us. That means he's got a pretty crappy crew. So we even fired and we weren't spotted. So now we're just gonna wait up on him until he pokes out. And there we go, and we take him out of the game. Now that he's taken out, now we can get closer to that rock on my left or in front of me, and hopefully get into those bushes here and see if we can spot the arty. So that's what we're gonna do. Yes, we spot the arty right there. So we're gonna put a shell into him, and hopefully we can reload in time before he runs off. We like killing piggies, yes we do. So we take him out of the game. And now we're gonna run off quickly because it looks like I'm targeted. So something is looking at me, but I don't know from where. I thought it was from the east side, so I'm just gonna wiggle my tank and get behind the rock over here. And just cool it off. For a split moment. But now I see our QL moving up here. So since QL is moving up, I'm gonna try to make my push towards the east side. Behind the hill. There are a couple super heavies there. There's this type 5 heavy. We're going to try to put a shell into his weak spot. There's that flat area above his side skirt that you can penetrate. And that's what I was aiming at over there. Unfortunately, the second shell bounces. So now we're going to target his flat portion. Now, that bounces too. See, that was probably a bad shot on my part. I should have been shooting his turret cheeks. Turret cheeks on type 5 are pretty weak, and you can penetrate them with your premium rounds easily with any tier 10 pretty much. So as you notice here, I actually aimed this shot at the turret cheek and I managed to take him out of the game. Yeah, that wasn't very smart on my part because I lost HP there, and HP is so important in this game, guys, that yeah, it's when you shoot weak points, make sure you choose the right ones and make sure you aim him well. Don't ever rush your shots, because if you do, you're gonna miss the weak spots. Unless you don't want to take hits, then you can rush your shots. If you don't want to take hits from the opposing tank, then yeah, you just poke out and just rush it. But if the opposition tank is not aiming at you, like this E4, he's not aiming at me at all. So I could take my sweet time aiming there and just finishing him off. So we're gonna move forward here, but all of a sudden we get spotted here and targeted. So that means, and someone's clicking area B5, that means there's a TD, opposition's TD sitting somewhere around area B5. Here I got spotted again, as you noticed. So I have a feeling their waffle must be sitting in that area. So instead of pushing through that area, again, lesson for your new tankers, if you get spotted, don't push through the same area, because you know you're gonna get annihilated. So why even push? I chose a different route, and I'm gonna try to approach this guy from this side and hopefully spot him. Climb up the hill, spot him, and take him out of the game. We don't have to worry about this Jagdpanzer 100 right now. He's busy over there. But we were hoping to get some additional damage off of this guy. Unfortunately, he gets completely deleted. So we get the last shadow damage there. We take him out of the game. And now only this Jagdpanzer 100 remaining in the game. And we're going to try to look for a shot at him. Just trying to get extra damage here, to be honest. Just looking for a position where I can thread the needle. Thread that shot through. Unfortunately, that one bounces. Let's see if he shows us his side. There we go. We see his side now, so we should be able to put the damaging hit into him, and we do. Now, can we take him out of the game? We would have to high roll over here. Unfortunately, we do not. But we do get the damaging shot, and he gets taken out by one of our teammates. Anyway, it's a victory for us. It was a very nice game. I thought it was very well thought of. Take a look at this result. We managed to put up 5.8k damage with 8 kills, which gives us Radley Walters medal. Over 1700 XP, 1762 base XP. Quite a nice game in this tank. We lost some credits, obviously, because we were shooting some premium rounds. But 30k in the back is not that bad. We ended up with Mastery Ace Tanker for this game. Devastator medal. Radley Walters medal for killing 8 tanks. Bruiser badge. Fire for effect. Top gun because we killed 6 tanks. And what else do we get here? Duelist. High caliber. And yeah, our mark of excellence is standing at 81%. I'm not really going for marks of excellence on this tank, guys, because I'm just not playing the game as much as I used to. Anyway, still a nice game for this tank, and yeah, I just can't say enough how much I love this tank. This is probably my favorite tank in the game right now. I don't know why, but it's my go-to tank. I really can't explain it. This tank works for me, and sometimes that's the way it goes. Anyway, guys, I have a lot more cool stuff, good games coming up on the channel in the near future, so hold tight. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.